Okay, and I'm getting a little bit of feedback from somewhere. I don't know where that is. So I'm gonna go ahead and mute, and then you can unmute at certain points. Okay, so welcome to this webinar. This is all about clearing your subconscious freedom blocks so you can work in flow state and accomplish more in less time. And so according to Forbes, top executives report being 5 times more when in flow state. So that's really the whole focus here, is how to maximize that golden 10 hours per week so that passion, purpose, and profit are all weaving together and you're in your zone of genius. So you guys know me, but just a few quick things. So this is a key tool. This subconscious clearing tool helped me go from the 100 hours a week, my agency business, to the 1 hour a week. It's helped me have 10 years of self-made passive income, and really helped me clear away the things so I could discover my life mission at 24. So to prime the pump here, this is why I love sharing this with people and opening this to more people, because oftentimes people come to me saying, Sebastian, my schedule is so busy. Like, I need more team, I need more systems. And what I've found time and time again is that what they actually need is to clear their subconscious of freedom blocks. For example, maybe you had a family member, maybe it was a dad, that said, hey, real men are always working. So you got to put in those 100-hour work weeks. Like, we can have these imprints from anywhere. And by the way, our hardworking ancestors, like Mexican, Irish, German, we needed that. Like, we wouldn't be here if we didn't have family members, ancestors that were hard workers. So the thing is, definitely grateful, yet times have changed, and it's all about our zone of genius rather than what we do directly with our hands. So as you may know, the subconscious mind is way more powerful than the conscious mind. Conscious on the little tip there. And Dr. Bruce Lipton, as he says, the subconscious mind is 1,000,000 times more powerful than the conscious mind. So that's the whole focus here. Let's get the subconscious dialed in, and then everything can follow that. So a few things here. When people don't clear their subconscious freedom blocks, what I find is they clear their schedule, but it just fills back up. Or they will, let's see here, make new hires, have that off their plate, and then it creates more issues. Also create new systems, but then nobody uses them. So the whole goal here is to clear out the schedule and have it stay clear, and with more money, by the way, and keep their same team and accomplish twice as much with more smiles. And what I find is that people tend to then let go of 90% of the systems they thought they needed, and they have more ease with hitting their goals. So I'll share a brief case study, and then we'll hop into it. Great friend of mine, Dan Russell, the case study with him is that he was the owner of a marketing agency, Vivid Labs. And he was working 50 plus hours a week. And through this transition, he went down to 10 hours a week in less than 90 days and doubled his income. So, which gave him the time to devote to his true calling, which was writing his book. And that's about to be released soon. So the interesting thing with Dan is that before he even published it, somehow Grant Cardone's team caught wind of the book, and now he's consulting as the chief revenue officer for Grant Cardone's 10X incubator, which is interesting. That's connected with Naya as well. And so they have him on track to be a future equity partner as well. So interesting things when we're connected to what we're truly here to do. Okay. So this is going to be a journey into your subconscious. So you can go ahead and let's take 3 deep breaths at your own pace. And as you're ready, you can go ahead and gently close your eyes. And for most of the session, your eyes will be closed. And I invite you and challenge you to keep your eyes closed, because it shuts down the conscious mind. Our conscious mind lives through what we see. So the less it can see, the more you get to go deeper into your subconscious mind. Okay? And go ahead and just perhaps move your body around wherever it wants to move, whether it's your shoulders, your hands, just really settling into your body, because our subconscious mind and our body are reflections of each other, because think of all the different cells that are operating in our body. We didn't tell our heart to beat today. We didn't tell our cells to divide today. It's all happening subconsciously. Okay. And now I'll go ahead and just do a couple of the beginning command codes. As you're taking deeper and deeper breaths, you can go ahead and each breath, you're noticing yourself relax deeper and deeper. And the whole goal of this webinar is to have a pocket of peace and clarity for your week. Okay. So you can see, sense, or imagine a nice, warm, and gentle waterfall touching on top of your head and slowly moving its way down, relaxing the muscles in your face, relaxing the muscles in your shoulders, relaxing the muscles in your chest, arms and hands, just giving everything full permission to relax and settle down. Stomach relaxing, hips, legs down to the toes. And as you're hearing the sound of my voice, you can just let your heartbeat slow down, relax. And throughout this process, it's totally okay and encouraged to yawn. Yawn and let the energy release. Some people like myself, where I'm a yawner, some people are burpers. That's just how it is. It's like as a facilitator too. Some people's eyes water. Whatever it is, it's totally okay. That's the energy releasing, the tension releasing. Okay. So just go ahead and place your attention on releasing anything from the day. Just always bringing yourself back to this moment while I say a few of the starting command codes, which is we request an alignment with each of our subconscious minds, and our support at all levels in all dimensions will work co-creatively with us with only the purest love, compassion, integrity, grace, and empowerment for the highest will and good for all. We welcome all empowerment support personalized for each of us at this time. And we ask for a clear and perfect channel of the highest vibrations of love, light, service, dedicated to true empowerment. So please balance and align all grid structures at all levels in our personal fields and our working spaces for protection, clarity, stability, freedom, empowerment, and perfect alignment now. Thank you. Go ahead and take a deep breath through the mouth. Just exhaling more and more of the intention. Okay. And now you can see, sense, or imagine in your mind's eye a purple flame all around you. This is a loving, warm, nurturing purple flame. And this is going to be dissolving any of the mental, emotional, energetic baggage. Okay, we're doing it layer by layer. And I'll say the command codes here. Source of our subconscious. We lovingly command that if there's anything stopping us from working with our subconscious minds today, any blocks, attachments, resistance, issues, interference at any level, programs, beliefs, perceptions, feelings, judgments, thoughts, discordant energy, fears, contracts, promises, agreements, expectations, or anything that hasn't been mentioned that needs to be cleared, please may it be cleared now. Okay. And take another deep breath. And just notice what you feel in your body. Perhaps letting go of tension, perhaps feeling lighter. We end up carrying so many burdens and so many baggages. Sometimes we forget and we just get used to it. Okay. We'll say the next round. Source of our subconscious mind. We lovingly command absolute alignment with all empowerment forces to maximize grace and ease together with our next steps in growth. Please break resonance from any relevant unserving energies, please. Feel and strengthen each of our energetic fields. And now please raise the vibration of all the body levels to the maximum beneficial vibrations per second to maintain this clearing and keep ourselves clear, aligned, and grounded. Thank you. Okay. Deep breath through the mouth. And this time you can hold for as long as you'd like. And you can release when you're ready. Okay, nicely done. So now in this space, it's like you cleared the slate clean. So now we'll go into what's the freedom block that's blocking your next step. And this is a low frequency feeling that can be dragging us down. So now go ahead in your mind's eye, go to a relaxing place. This could be by the ocean, could be on the grass, in the mountains, the beach, or just in a place that makes you feel comfortable. Go to that place now and breathe in the comfort of that place. And you'll see a number that comes to your mind in a moment. And you could be looking in the fire, you could be looking in the clouds, you could be looking in the sand, or just in your mind's eye. See what number comes to mind, 1 through 192. 1 through 192. Okay. And so next, when you have your number, you can go ahead and gently open your eyes and take a look on the screen of what number or what emotion is for your number. Okay. And hopefully you're able to, if there's a, okay. So when you have yours, just go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Okay. And you go ahead and close your eyes now and just explore that feeling. Explore what comes up for you. Now, sometimes it's pretty apparent. It's something like maybe, you experienced that when you were younger. Sometimes maybe you're on the other side of the coin. Whatever it is, just let yourself explore it and feel it. Okay. And the idea here is the more you feel it, the more you can clear it. Okay. And Christy, I just want to check that you were able to get yours. Thumbs up. Okay, great. Fantastic. Okay, so with your eyes closed, you can go ahead and explore this feeling and notice, where do you feel tension in your body? Is it at the chest, the shoulders, back, head, stomach? Where is that tension? Okay. And in that place in your body, if it had a color, what color would it be? And there's no wrong or right answers for these. Again, we're just bringing consciousness to these areas that have been unconscious. Okay, now that you have the color and where it is, that tension was a shape. What would it be? Okay. And now go ahead and see what number comes to you. 0 to how old you are. 0 to how old you are. And this is the age where there was a strong imprint of this low frequency feeling. Okay. And sometimes it makes sense right away. Sometimes it doesn't. Either way is okay. It's still going to work because our subconscious mind already knows. So go ahead and let yourself breathe in that feeling as much as you're comfortable with. The more you can feel it, the more you can heal it. That's the concept. Okay. And now we're going to do the clearing code to clear it. And just notice that you're feeling tension in your body. You can notice how it clears up. So with this one, you can keep your eyes closed and repeat after me. Okay. Source of my subconscious, please clear out all at once the low frequency feeling of, and then state your one that you chose, that I have identified. You can say that. 100% the core issue throughout all levels and dimensions. 100% the original cause throughout all levels and dimensions. 100% the source of its power throughout all levels and dimensions. 2 more. 100% all energy attached throughout all levels and dimensions. 100% all of its effects throughout all levels and dimensions. Thank you. Okay. Deep breath through the mouth. Hold for as long as you'd like. And release when you're ready. And as you allow yourself to simply be in the energy, letting go of the tension, it's almost like there's a dark energy with that tension. And inside is a golden nugget of wisdom. Because each of these things has something to teach us. You might get an idea of what that golden nugget is. Might not, that's okay. Like that golden nugget is opening up and integrating in your body, your energy, and your subconscious. Okay. And now we'll go to our next chart, which is called Releasing the Blocks to Positive Living. So these are all little blocks that can show up to block us from positive living. So now you can center in your relaxed place and see what number comes to your mind, 1 through 83. 1 through 83. Okay. And when you have your number, you can go ahead and gently open your eyes. And we have it here. Okay, and once you have your word, you can go ahead and close your eyes back and let yourself just be with that. See what bubbles up, see what resonates. Notice how that may be connected to this week. Maybe there's certain events that have come up. Just really bubble up whatever wants to bubble up. Because again, your subconscious mind already knows, and we don't have to figure it out with our conscious mind, which has so much less processing power. Okay, so now notice where you feel tension in your body. Whether it's the heart, the back, the hips, head. And once you have that, if it was a color, what would it be? What would that block be? Because each of the words for each of us, it's blocking us from that thing. And sometimes this is a big thing we've been working on. Sometimes it's something we have been working on consistently, and sometimes it's just a little bit of final cleanup on it. Finally let that go. Okay, and now that you have the color, go ahead and see if it was a shape, what would it be? Okay, open yourself more and more to this feeling. And now you can see what number comes to mind, 0 to how old you are, 0 to how old you are. So the imprint of that block, strong emotional imprint. Okay. And this helps your subconscious mind be even more specific with its targeting. And okay, so let's take a deep breath, breathing in that feeling, breathing in the awareness, noticing the tension. And we'll go ahead and do the clearing. And with this, you can see, sense, or imagine that loving purple flame that's your ally, dissolving any and all the tension, revealing the gold within. Because everything that you've experienced, there's a beautiful gift in it. It's brought you to where you are now, and it's an asset for you to move forward with, a gift. Okay, so when you're ready, you can repeat after me. Source of my subconscious, please clear out all files of discordant and blocking energy, especially related to the block. To, and then you can say your word. So the block to. Okay. 100% the core issue. throughout all levels and dimensions. 100% the original cause, throughout all levels and dimensions. 100% the source of its power, throughout all levels and dimensions. 2 more. 100% all energy attached, throughout all levels and dimensions. 100% all of its effects, throughout all levels and dimensions. Thank you. Deep breath through the mouth. Hold for as long as you'd like, and release when you're ready. Okay, so allowing more and more of the peace to wash through your body. You can go ahead and let your body move however it might want to move, whether it's your shoulders or your feet, hands, your back and your neck. If there's any yawns that need to happen, layer by layer, letting it go. Okay. Yep, and also if your body wants to be massaged anywhere, whether it's the hands, chest, temples, really use your intuition, or your neck. It's all about getting connected to the body. Okay. And the less we're out of our head, or the more we're out of our head, the more we're in our body. And that's the intelligence of the subconscious mind. Again, if it's 1,000,000 times more powerful, like Dr. Bruce Lipton says, it's a lot more efficient using that computer than our conscious mind. Okay. So now we're going to start bringing it back home, and we're going to do our next chart, which is the new understandings. So we cleared out old feelings and the blocks. Go to the flip side of what's the new understanding we're going to take forward this week. So go back to your comfortable place, and we'll get centered and see what number comes to you. 1 through 28. 1 through 28. All right, and when you have your number, you can go ahead and gently open your eyes and take a look here. Okay. And once you have yours, you can go ahead and gently close your eyes and see how you connect to that phrase, that new understanding. And again, your subconscious mind, your spirit already knows the most efficient path for what you're here to do. We're each born here for a reason. We have unique gifts, passions, curiosities that weave together to do the thing we're here to do. And I believe we're born to do what we love. So our subconscious mind, all the processing power, already knows the most efficient route. So relaxing into that and connecting with this new understanding. See what comes to mind. See what it would be like to walk forward with this energy, with this new understanding. And ask yourself, are you ready to step into this new understanding? Are you ready to be this new understanding? Okay. And if this new understanding was a color, what would it be? Maybe it's a few different colors woven together. What would it be? Okay. And now let's go ahead and do a few breaths, breathing in that color, letting it go through all the cells in your body, like updating the source code throughout your body with each and every breath, shining through all the cells, all up along your spine, the different chakras, out your crown, back down to your toes, refreshing each of the cells, rejuvenating each of the cells, shining out and expanding beyond your body, the bubble around you. Imagining expanding to a bubble around the place that you're in, bigger and bigger and bigger. The scientists, the quantum scientists say there's no time and space. The ancient enlightened masters say there's no time and space. So perhaps even letting your bubble expand beyond the construct of time and space. Breathing that in. And now when you're ready, you can repeat after me. Source of my subconscious. I give thanks for the new understanding of, and then you can say yours. To be encoded at all levels of my being. Multidimensionally. In ever expanding capacity. For love, freedom, and prosperity. In the highest and best good. Thank you. Take a deep breath through the mouth. And hold. Release when you're ready. Okay. And now just allowing yourself to be in this energy. Just notice what bubbles up. Might be a thought, might be an idea, or it might not be. Might just be this feeling that is the new guiding feeling. Whatever it is, allow yourself to embrace it and be it. Okay. And now we'll go ahead and do one more into the subconscious. So this one is moving forward, moving forward. So really gonna do the launching here. So connect to what number comes to mind, 1 through 36, 1 through 36. And when you have yours, you can go ahead and gently open your eyes. And notice what you get. Once you have that, you can go ahead and gently close your eyes and connect to that theme. You can see, sense, or imagine yourself opening up to that, like physically. What action that would look like, how you'd look like doing that action of moving forward. See the smile on your face. Connect to what it looks like being that theme. Okay. And now when you're ready, you can repeat after me. Source of my subconscious. I give thanks for. And now you can say yours, and I have it on the screen if you need to see it. To be encoded into all aspects of my being and consciousness. Multidimensionally to the point of creation. In an ever-expanding capacity. For love, freedom, prosperity, and empowerment in the highest and best good. Thank you. Deep breath through the mouth. And hold. Can you release when you're ready?
Sebastian, you're muted.
Oh, thank you. I wonder how long I was muted for.
A few seconds, probably like 10 seconds.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you can go ahead and open your eyes and yeah. So now we'll just do brief shares of just what you're noticing, what are you feeling in your body. And then after that, we'll do a brief pair up of talking through your highest impact task of the week. So now that this peace and clarity is here, putting the attention on the one thing this week that would make everything else way easier or even unnecessary. So first though, let's just get a brief check-in. How and what are you feeling? And Naya, let's start with you, if you'd be up for it.
Yeah, I'm feeling really good. This was great for my first time doing it. Yeah, I feel amazing. Two words came up. Two numbers came up, and both of those numbers were relating.
Yes.
Like
so that can
apathy
often happen.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then at 23 years old, like this the story, I started like putting the pieces together, and I was like, oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, it continually blows my mind of just like, wow, these are things I would have never thought in my conscious mind, but then through, I'm like, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
And yes, that's something that happens is from time to time, two will come up. So I'm glad you rolled with it. And for everybody else, roll with it as well, because they tend to be intertwined and they both want to be released. Yeah. And let's go ahead and go to Daniel next. Daniel's a bit more experienced in this. We've been doing this for a bit. So yeah, how are you feeling? What are you noticing in your body?
I'm feeling great. And it's funny because I also had two numbers come up. One of them was also 23. So that's very interesting. And the two numbers, one of them made sense. The other one almost feels like it's something I should be going through almost like now, but in just a different way. But I don't know. Yeah, I'm feeling great. I feel like I know what I need to do. So
awesome. Good feeling. Great. Thank you for sharing. And we'll go to Irene. How and what are you feeling?
I feel like I haven't woken up yet.
Yeah.
I feel like that right before you wake up in the morning, that makes sense. I had two numbers come up.
Oh, wow.
One of them was remembering allness. I don't know what that means. But I ended up seeing really some really nice colors and a picture in my mind of moving forward in a really refreshing way. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, so thank you.
Wonderful. Yeah, there's no accidents with the two coming up. You know, the group effect. Like I'm personally, as an innovator, I'm curious of like all the different things that'll happen putting us together doing this. And yeah, the remembering allness, to me, that means, you know, we're all connected. And whether we look at the spiritual route of all being extension of the same source, or the science route of all connected through energy. And so, yeah, perhaps remembering that, connecting to seeing ourselves in each other. There's the quote that I am one in the many in the one. I'm one in the many in the one. Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you for sharing. And we'll go to Christy. How and what are you feeling? I think it looks a little frozen. Yep, it's definitely frozen. So, oh, there you go. There you're back. And you're on mute. So a little pop-up should come up for you. There we go. Yeah, how and what are you feeling?
Sorry, it keeps on kicking out on me. I found it very interesting on some of my numbers. I have had gone to my counselor today, and one of the numbers that came up was something we had talked about, but I wasn't able to put an emotion to it, and it popped up what it was. And it also popped up age perfect when it impacted me. So I thought that was very interesting. I also had remembering the allness. And I didn't quite understand what that mean, but the clarity to me became a little more of, for me, remembering God created everything, all the stuff. And you're right, we all are connected, and to be with all of it. So I just thought it was interesting again, like I said, and I do feel more relaxed and more calm. I was tired before I started this. I'm not now.
Great. Awesome. So there we go. So that's the goal, is to have a bubble of peace and clarity for the week. And so what we'll do now is I'm going to do a breakout room, which I think I can do here. I wonder if that's a different functionality.
Click on participants.
Click on participants. Okay. And I wonder if I need the webinar function. Okay.
You might have to set it up ahead of time.
I think so. Okay, great. So we'll just do this together, which is totally fine. So now from this place, and really getting centered in, because the mind, at least my mind, will want to get going again. We'll just center it in. And as Naya and I were talking about, there's a book by David Hawkins called Letting Go. And we just so happened to both be reading it or listening to it at the same time without coordinating each other at all. And the whole concept is, ultimately, on the scale of consciousness, the mind maxes out at like 400s. And so even the most, best processing power maxes out at 499. 500 and above is the realm of love. And that's where the heart leads the way. And when the heart's leading the way, that's where the subconscious is being utilized. So the concept is letting go of even the love of thinking and noticing the mind thinking, not making it wrong, but just going ahead and letting it do its thing and centering back into that core feeling of being the peace. So now let's go ahead and take a look at our week, just this 1 week. So the next 7 days, what's the one thing this week that would make everything else way easier or even unnecessary? I'm talking about the path of your purpose too, by the way. I'm talking about what you're here to do on this planet. You might know what that looks like or might not, but you definitely feel that. You definitely feel that. You don't need to know what it looks like, all the steps. So from that feeling place, what's the one thing, and if you need to close your eyes, you can. So one thing your subconscious, your spirit is guiding you to do this week. That'll make everything else way easier or even unnecessary. And when you have yours, you can go ahead and write it down, or you can type it in the chat as well, if you'd like. Totally what you're comfortable with. I'll put mine. Okay. And okay. And now we'll approach this from a slightly different angle, very similar. So imagine in your business, in your life, there's the highest impact activity. So in a business sense, that's looking at, say, the $1,000 per hour activity, or the $10,000 per hour activity instead of getting caught in the $20 per hour activities. So that's a slightly different way of looking at it. For your passion, your purpose, your mission, what is that $1,000 or $10,000 plus per hour activity that would have the highest impact for this week? Just go ahead and let that bubble up from your subconscious. Okay. And when you have that, you might have two, by the way, as well. That's okay. You can go ahead and write those down or put them in the chat if you're comfortable with it. Okay. Irene, that is exciting. Yeah, especially because I've gotten to experience your gifts with that. That's very exciting.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So as you're putting these in or thinking of yours, yeah, so the idea with this highest impact task, the acronym is HIT. So the idea is that if you do nothing else, if you just hit this and do nothing else, you still had a super successful week. And this really started coming into my mind from when I was going on, when I was in Maverick Next in my early 20s and going on different experiences with Mavericks in Uruguay, Argentina. And there was times where there was all these amazing things planned out throughout the day, throughout the week. And I only had Wi-Fi for like an hour in the morning. It wasn't how it is now. Now you go to Mexico and you get, nothing changes. The line is the same. The internet's the same. They don't even charge you anymore. But back then it was like, I only have mediocre internet for like an hour and that's it. So what I noticed, it helped me like compress like what is the essentials and what can I delegate off. And then when I came back to the States, I was like, oh, those are off my plate. I'm gonna keep them off my plate. So this idea, if you only did this and you took the rest of the week off, then you can have that peace of mind knowing you still had a super successful week. Okay. So, and that brings us home for today. We're actually right under the hour. So focused, simple, clear. And so if you need to hop off and go about your week, you're welcome to. Otherwise, I'll keep it open for free flow conversation, Q&A. Keep it open for at least 15 or so minutes.
I gotta go, but it was so nice to meet all of you, and Sebastian, I appreciate it. You're amazing, and yeah, anyway, have a great day, you guys.
Nice meeting you.
Hey, Daniel.
Sebastian, is this your first time doing this?
In this way, yes. Yeah.
Wow, it was great.
I would not have known that. Not at all.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming in. I've been doing it in person for council members, and this has been the first time of, all right, let's get a extended group, not in person, online.
Wow.
I enjoyed it a lot. Thank you. Um, yeah, and processing the things that came up. The number after, I guess, the first half, the unconditional love piece that we were talking about yesterday.
Yeah.
Number 77 came up, and I was laughing. I was like, what a coincidence.
Wow. So 77 was unconditional love?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah. This is awesome. Like I want to do it more often.
Yeah. Well, join aboard. Yep. Whenever you can make it. I know you're going to be in Peru, but yeah, the door's open whenever you want to hop in.
Thank you. And I'm thinking, how can I bring more people? Like I want to introduce this to more people in my communities.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, for right now, let me know and I can add their email address to the Google Calendar invite. And
So you're planning on doing it at 3 o'clock or Eastern every Thursday?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Okay. All right. That's good to know. And for how long?
Well, it looks like if we can keep it to a nice tight hour and then bonus Q&A conversation afterwards, I think that'd be a good flow.
No, I mean, how long do you think you'll be doing it on a weekly basis?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think it really feels like I'll continue this. So for the month of April, have it free and figure out the flow, figure out how much time and energy is invested, and then figure out like the price that makes sense depending on what people want. And yeah, have it consistent weekly. I know somebody else who's a good ally who could fill in for me the times I couldn't be. So it feels like it can be a really consistent weekly pocket of peace and clarity for people.
Okay, very good. Awesome. Yeah. Well, I enjoyed it very much. It was nice seeing you. Oh, actually, can we do some introductions? Because I don't know much about Irene or Christy. So I would love to learn.
Yeah,
absolutely. Do you need to record it or do you want to take it off the recording?
Yeah, let's go ahead and we'll stop the recording here. And